It's been decades since Pikachu has become the global face of Pokémon, but in the Alolan region, there's a Pokémon that so desperately wants to become the face of the franchise that it just goes ahead and wears it. Welcome to Drawn to the Decks, the show where we strip away the stats and the typing to look at the visual logic that makes a Pokémon iconic. And today, we're unmasking the heartbreaking genius of the 7th generation, the disguised Pokémon, Mimikyu. The lore behind this Pokémon tells us that this is a lonely shadow entity that just wants to be loved. Its design is a meta commentary on popularity itself. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that anyone who happens to get too close to it and looks under its rag falls deeply ill and dies. You heard me right. Death is no stranger to Pokémon lore, but the way it happened so suddenly with Mimikyu is extremely unsettling. The genius with its design lies in the intentional imperfection. The eyes and cheeks look like they were colored in with an old crayon, and it's a brilliant way to communicate vulnerability. This shows us the effort of a creature trying to fit in, creating an immediate emotional bond with the viewer. Its name is a phonetic play on the phrase Mimikyu. It's a direct, almost desperate statement of intent. In Japanese, the Kyu in Mimikyu is supposed to represent a sound that a small creature makes, similarly to the Chew in Pikachu, further strengthening the parallels between the two. In the video games, players first encounter Mimikyu in the Abandoned Thrifty Megamart in the Alolan region. The visual logic of this encounter is a perfect example of environmental storytelling. As the player steps into the dilapidated supermarket, the game strips away the bright Alolan sun and replaces it with the flickering hum of dying fluorescent lights. The design logic here suggests Mimikyu is a parasite of nostalgia. By placing it in a graveyard of consumerism, the designers visually signal that Mimikyu is the literal ghost of the franchise's own success, haunting the very place where its inspiration would have been sold. Now let's break down the physical anatomy, because this is where the design truly becomes haunting. Mimikyu is built on a concept called visual dissonance. Your brain wants to focus on the head at the top, but the biological reality is happening in those two black slits on its torso. This creates a visual split in the design. The top half is a puppet, while the bottom half is the unknown threat. This perfectly telegraphs its disguise ability. When the head flops over after taking a hit, it's one of the most effective uses of kinetic storytelling in the entire franchise. The design literally breaks itself in order to demonstrate its mechanic. Next up is color theory. A standard Pikachu is a vibrant electric yellow, and it's designed to be seen from a mile away. But Mimikyu's yellow is actually a sickly pale tan. This shift from high saturation to low saturation tells a story without words. It suggests that this costume has been sitting in a damp basement for over 20 years. Even the accent colors feel wrong. The red on its cheeks aren't a natural blush, they're scribblings of a crayon. By using analogous colors such as tans, browns, and blacks, mixed with those fake, jarring primary colors of the red cheeks, creates a visual disharmony. It's supposed to look like a child's drawing of a Pokémon, not the Pokémon itself. And this use of false pigment is exactly why your brain flags it as an imposter the second it hits the screen. Do you prefer this old toy aesthetic, or would you prefer Mimikyu to adapt the vibrant colors of the Alolan region? Next up is the silhouette test. While the upper body mimics a soft, rounded shape, the base of the design is a series of jagged, sharp points. The tail isn't a limb, it's a flat, heavy piece of scrap wood. This creates a silhouette that feels off balance. It's slumped and heavy at the bottom, which reinforces the idea that this creature is dragging a heavy burden. And there's no denying that those ears and tail are taken directly from Pikachu's silhouette. But here's an interesting question. Can a Pokemon really be iconic if its entire silhouette is just a parody of another one? Now let's see how this Master of Disguise ranks on our official scorecard. First up is silhouette clarity. That slumped Pikachu shape is iconic, and the busted form adds a unique layer. We're giving this a 10 out of 10. Fundamental appeal. It somehow manages to be both creepy and cute, a difficult combo to get right. Its dark lore combined with its desire to be loved are some aspects that you just can't ignore when looking at its design. We're giving this a 10 out of 10. Visual detail. The hand-drawn aesthetic is brilliant, but it does rely heavily on another Pokemon's identity. For that, we're gonna give this an 8 out of 10. And lastly, cultural longevity. It's become the unofficial mascot for the misunderstood Pokemon fan, and we absolutely love it for that. We're giving this a 10 out of 10. With a staggering total of 38 out of 40, Mimikyu is quite simply one of the most cohesive and emotionally resonant designs ever put out in the franchise. But the real question remains, what is actually hiding under that rag? Is it a ghost, a shadow, or something we just aren't meant to understand? I want to hear your best theories in the comments down below. Are you a fan of the creepy side of this design, or do you just see a Pokemon that needs a friend? But that's about it for this episode. Tune in next time to see which Pokemon we're drawn to next, right here on Drawn to the Decks. See ya!